Hey, this is the MMA loser, and today I'm making a list of kickboxers in UFC. I'm going to rank them. Basically, we are going to rank the best kickboxers in each division, starting from the flyweight division all the way up to heavyweight division. In some divisions, we are considering one fighter. In some divisions, we are considering more than one or two fighters. Now, this list is not perfect in any shape or form, but this is my list. You guys can add your picks in the comments as well. And also for this, we are only considering the ranked fighters. That is the top 15. And I'm and in to be honest, the flyweight list is not going to be the best. What I mean by that is that I don't know much flyweight fighters. I know a very few of them, and there are some fighters who I know are really good kickboxers, but I've not seen them in a long time, so I don't know how good their kickboxing is right now. And also, there are some fighters who do not exactly depend on their kickboxing the most of the time. For example, the GOAT himself, John Jones. Uh, we are considering him, but he is not exactly known for just his kickboxing skills. But I genuinely think he has some of the best kickboxing skills in UFC. Now, John Jones is a complete fighter, but still his kickboxing is really good. So I'm taking him into the list. I'm taking him into consideration, and of course there are some names which are very common, and maybe a few names which are not so common. But I think if you have been watching UFC, then I'm fairly certain this is more of a casual list. This is not a hardcore list. I'm not going too deep into the division. I'm not going into stats. I'm just saying from what I have seen in fights. And yes, there are some people like Justin Gaethje and uh, I would say Robert Whittaker that I have not taken into consideration because Gaethje can kick, but he's not a kickboxer. He's a boxer who kicks. He's basically a wrestler who kicks. Someone like Jeff Neal and Shafkat, I'm not taking them into consideration because they are boxers like Jeff Neal and Jack Della Maddalena. They're boxers, and Shafkat is more of a grappler, even though he uses his kickboxing. But I think his best, I would say his best attribute is his, I would say is the ground game. So yeah, so without any further ado, let us start. Uh, First of all, the flyweight division. I'm putting Kai Kara France. Now, I know there are some other fighters in flyweight who are really good strikers. Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo, I think, are the two that comes to my mind. Alex Perez is pretty good as well, but I think Brandon Royval is more of a boxer. Alex Perez is also, I think, he is more of a boxer. I think Kai Kara France is the only one that I can think of as the kickboxer. Again, Brandon Moreno is also a good kickboxer right now, so I might take him into consideration once the list is done. So I'll have to think about it. Uh, but first, let me complete this list. So I might put Brandon Moreno for the flyweight division because I like his style of fighting, and he uses kicks pretty good. But in his recent fight, he was using more of his hands. So I'm going to skip Brandon Moreno again. A big fan of Brandon Moreno. So now let's just talk about the bantamweight division. I think bantamweight has some really good kickboxers, but the person that comes to my mind the most is Sugar Sean O'Malley. Now he's, I think, the second best kickboxer in the bantamweight division. The first being this man, Sandhagen. Now, don't now if they both fight, I think Sugar can beat him. Like Sugar Sean can beat Sandhagen, in my opinion. Did they fight? I don't think they have fought. I think the only high-ranked fighter that Sugar Sean has fought till now is Peter Yan. Again, some people are going to say that why didn't I take Peter Yan in this list? Even though Peter Yan is ranked really high, I think Peter Yan is number 5. The reason I did not take Peter Yan in this list is because I think Peter Yan is more of a boxer who kicks, whereas Corey Sandhagen is a kickboxer. And I think Sugar Sean O'Malley is also a kickboxer. I've seen him use his kicks. Sean Yadong is also there. I've not taken him because I don't think he's a dominant kickboxer. He's a dominant boxer, and I think he has a really good all round skill. And of course, Corey Sandhagen defeated him real bad. So I'm considering Corey Sandhagen. If we talk about technique, I think Corey Sandhagen has more diverse technique than O'Malley, but O'Malley is more flashy. But hey, don't hurt me for saying for putting this two. I think they're the best kickboxers in the bantamweight division. Maybe there are some other. Umar is pretty good. Umar is pretty good, but I think Umar is more of a sambo fighter. So I'll make a sambo list. Then I'll put Umar. Now featherweight division. Now featherweight is interesting. In featherweight, of course, we've got some really good strikers. We've got Yair Rodriguez and Max Holloway. So the reason I've not taken Yair Rodriguez is because he's more of a taekwondo fighter. I know he is a kickboxer, but he's not exactly a kickboxer. He's a taekwondo fighter who uses kicks. Arnold Allen is there. Arnold Allen, again, a fighter who uses both, who depends on his boxing combination. Ortega, Josh Emmett, boxer. Ilya Topuria, boxer. Kater can kick, but he's boxer. Chen Jung, I'm not considering him. Ivloev, wrestler. Chikadze is on the list. And Sadiq Yusuf is good. Mitchell is again a grappler. Ige, boxer. Barboza is on the list. Alex Caceres. So yeah. So for featherweight, the fighter that I'm considering for featherweight is Chikadze. Chikadze is a really good fighter. Uh, and I think I don't know who he's going to fight next. I don't know if I don't even want to put Chikadze in this list because he has not fought in like a long time. So I don't know, man. I'm not sure about his. I'm not going to put him on the list. Sorry, Chikadze. He hasn't fought. Edson Barboza, I think he's a really good kickboxer for the featherweight division. Now he has been on a losing streak. I think he has lost to a few fighters, but uh, I don't know even if he's ranked. He's ranked number 14, but I mean he's Edson Barboza. Come on, he's one of the best kickboxers, and of course, how can we not take this man into consideration? I think one of the greatest fighters, pound for pound number one, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. After his recent performance, of course, he used his wrestling in his recent performance, but that does not negate the fact that does not undo the fact that Volkanovski is a really good kickboxer. He pretty much destroyed Max's legs in the very first fight. He made Max Holloway, a great boxer, a great, I would not say he's a great kickboxer because he does not use his kicks that often, but Volkanovski was really hitting him with those kicks, and Volkanovski has really good kicks. He has really good kickboxing. Again, he trains with Izzy and Kai Kara France and Dan Hooker, so he's definitely, I'm going to consider him in this list. And now so for featherweight, it is Alexander the Great Volkanovski and Edson Barboza. Lightweight, we are considering uh, Rafael Fiziev. At lightweight, it is Rafael Fiziev. The reason I put him in there is because he's a really good kickboxer. I know he lost his last fight to Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje is more of a boxer who uses kicks. I don't know how to put it out there. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like Justin Gaethje is he's more dominant or he's more dependent on his hands rather than his head kicks. I know he throws really good leg kicks, no doubt about them. But he mostly in UFC, I don't think he has ever finished anybody with kicks, except for that his recent fight with Dustin Poirier. That was really good head kick. But I'm going to consider Rafael Fiziev from the lightweight division. Probably there are some other fighters that I don't know, but I'm not considering them. Now welterweight. Welterweight has probably the best kickboxer, the nicest fighter in UFC, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I mean, I hope Stephen Thompson gets paid. So at welterweight, Stephen Thompson. I mean, if you are asking me why I put Stephen Thompson in the list of best kickboxers, then you should stop watching UFC. I think he's the best. I think he's the best. Is it a best fighter? Look, there's a difference between being the best kickboxer and being the best fighter and being the most useful kickboxer. You cannot be the best kickboxer and just depend on your kickboxing. If you're until unless you're Izzy or Pajera, they just win by using kickboxing. But the welterweight division, a really talent-rich pool. They have really good grapplers in there, so those grapplers are the ones that give problem to Stephen Thompson. On striking ground, I think there is nobody that can match him. except for Anthony Pettis who knocked him out. Weird. That's weird. Now, the other person that I'm considering in the welterweight division is Ian Gary. Ian Gary has not shown a much. He is also a karate fighter, but he's a kickboxer. I would say he uses his kicks really well. He is similar to Wonder Boy. They both use karate stance, unlike Fiziev or Barboza or any of these fighters like Volkanovski, Sandhagen. All of them they use kickboxing stance, whereas Ian Gary and Wonder Boy they use and utilize karate stance, which is unique for both of them. I think Robert Whittaker does the same as well. Machida did it first. Connor did it kind of, but Connor is more dependent on his boxing. But for now, in welterweight division, these two, and of course, how can we not talk about headshot, bang, pound for pound headshot, dead. Leon Rocky Edwards. Now, Leon Edwards is really known for his kickboxing. He's really known for his striking, and and he's a better fighter than a lot of these people in here. Probably less than Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski is a more complete fighter, but apart from that, I think Leon Edwards is a more complete fighter than both Gary and Wonder Boy at this point of time. I don't know how Gary is going to do in future. He's just 25 years old, which that is very very young. To be honest, even in this sport, which is a young man's sport, I still think Gary is really young. So at welterweight, we are considering Wonderboy Thompson, Ian Gary, and Leon Edwards. Let's go to middleweight. At middleweight, it's none other than Israel Adesanya, probably or arguably the best kickboxer in UFC. The current middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. What is the reason for me putting him there? Because he was a former kickboxing world champion, and of course, he uses kickboxing better than anybody, in my opinion. At light heavyweight, we have the man who defeated Israel Adesanya, who finished Israel Adesanya in UFC. The only man to do that, that is Alex Poatan Pereira. Now, Alex Pereira was also knocked out by Izzy in their last fight, but Alex is, I arguably, look, if Izzy is the best, then Alex is the second best. If Alex is the best, then Izzy is the second best. I would say kickboxer in UFC. So yes, I mean Alex Pereira might be the best in my opinion. If we talk about just kickboxing, former two-time world heavyweight champion in Glory kickboxing, and the other person that I'm considering is Alexander Rakic. Now, Alexander Rakic is also a good kickboxer, but is he at the level of Pereira? And is he? I don't think so. I think he's good, but he's not that good. But I don't know. For some reason, I just saw one or two fights of Alexander Rakic, and I thought he's really good. His kickboxing is really good. But is he the best? Nowhere near. In the light heavyweight division, he might be the best right now because Jan is really good, but Jan is more of a, I don't know, man. I put Rakic. The reason I've not put Jan in there is because Pereira just defeated him, and Jan had to resort to grappling in that entire fight. Again, that was a good fight. I have no complaints against Jan, but Pereira, I mean, Jan was really gassed out in that fight, and also he's like 40 years old. In it was a good fight. I mean, I don't no hate against anybody. In the heavyweight division, of course, we have to put Cyril Gane, my man Cyril Gane. He's really good in the heavyweight division, arguably the best kickboxer in the heavyweight division. Of course, we have people like what was this guy's name? I forgot his name. Jorginho Rosenstruik. He's a really good kickboxer as well. But but the thing is, Gane defeated him in a 5-round fight, probably. I don't know about the other fighters. Chris Dawkins. Wow, Chris Dawkins is still ranked in. Wow, he's why the hell is he still ranked, man? Didn't he fight the light heavyweight? Uh, Derek Lewis. Where is Derek Lewis? Derek Lewis is still number 10. I think Derek Lewis should have jumped higher, man. Okay, Srilgan in the heavyweight division, and of course, the GOAT, John Jones. Now, a lot of people are going to say, why did I put John Jones in there? John Jones did not use kickboxing against Cyril Gane. Of course, he did not use kickboxing against Cyril Gane. When you know you can use your wrestling to win that fight, when you know you're going to you can use your grappling to win that fight, why will you use your kickboxing? That makes no sense. Just like Volkanovski used his grappling and his superior wrestling against uh, Yair Rodriguez, El Pantera. Definitely, John Jones was going to do the same thing against Cyril Gane. Now, John Jones is a really good striker. Watch his fight against Shogun Hua, watch his fight against Rampage, and all of those guys. He's really good. And I think John Jones is the best oblique kicker in this entire roster. The way John Jones is going to kick your knees, that's going to leave you with a broken knee. And also John Jones is the best eye poker in the UFC in the entire roster as well. So this is my list. Take a good look at this list. I'm going to repeat all of the fighters that I have considered. In the flyweight division, the best kickboxer in my opinion is Kai Kara France. In bantamweight division, it is Sugarshan O'Malley and Corey Sandhager. In featherweight division, it is Edson Barboza and the champion Alexander the Great Volkanovski. In lightweight, it is Rafael Fiziev. I have not considered any other fighter. In welterweight, there are three fighters I think are the best kickboxers. I don't know who is the best kickboxer among them, but I'm just going to put three. That is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Ian Gary, and Leon Rocky Edwards. In middleweight division, there is only one fighter, that is Israel Adesanya, the current uh, middleweight champ, the last style bender. In light heavyweight division, there are two fighters, number 3 ranked Alex Pereira and Alexander Rakic. I don't know what he is ranked. I don't know if he's ranked at this point of time. I think Alexander Rakic, yeah, he is ranked number 5. He hasn't fought in a long time, but he's ranked number 5. Potan is ranked number 3. There are other fighters that I've not considered, like Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill is more of a boxer. In the heavyweight division, it is Cyril Gane, Bongamin, and of course, the greatest of all time in the eyes of many people, and also the current UFC heavyweight champion, John Jones. So there goes my list of the best kickboxers in UFC, each and every division I have considered here. Take a good look, and you guys can write me in the comment section who are your picks for the best kickboxers in UFC. And if you like the video, then if you enjoyed the video, then drop a like. And please subscribe to my channel. I have very few subscribers. And yes, peace out.